Let's go!
I was cooking up.
Nic Anderson, are you kidding me? Now, I'm going to be honest. This isn't done by the time I'm recording this. Obviously, LSU brought in Barry and Brown, and they brought in former New Orleans legend Destin Hill. So maybe Anderson signs with LSU, maybe he doesn't. But I'm going to go ahead and release this film study because I do think he brings something to this room. All right, so let's break down the positives and negatives potentially of Anderson joining LSU. So you get a play action fake. And the hard thing about this eval is we only have 1 year of tape to go off of. So last year he was hurt all season for Oklahoma. He redshirted as a true freshman in 2022. So the only tape you're watching right now is from 2023. So the one thing that just kind of sticks out at you with Nic Anderson when you watch him is he does seem like a near one-to-one replacement for CJ Daniels. Now, of course, Daniels was older and overall just a more productive player, but that was Daniels playing competition at Liberty, and obviously Anderson played in the Big 12. So you see him with that vertical catch, and now after hitting him with that vertical, obviously Oklahoma blowing out a not-so-great Tulsa team, what do you do off of that? Well, you run a comeback, right? I don't know if this is just a pure all-out option route. You play vertical, and if they're that far off of you, just come right back. Obviously, Dillon Gabriel all day to throw, and he's able to come back and make a really nice catch. Now, as far as yak is concerned, he's got some yak ability. It's not obviously like truly something spectacular. But you see that he can make guys miss. And that's obviously a very, very good thing. And he's able to turn this ball into a touchdown. So we get to hear this is obviously a big part of what LSU does, which is just split zone action, right? They do it a lot with their tight ends, but they also like to do it with their receivers. Obviously, it was a bigger deal with Jaden and Malik, but this type of red zone guile and creativity is something you can do with Nic Anderson. And now let's see if he can power through for a tutty. He can, and it's a touchdown. All right, so here we go. Play action fake. You get to the top of the screen. DB has the most innermost leverage you will ever see. So you really got to attack this blind spot right here, and that's exactly what he does. He gets his DB turned around. And once again, this was when Oklahoma had a decent quarterback and an actual decent offensive line and an actual decent play caller. So there was a lot, obviously, that changed from 1 year to the next with this Oklahoma offense. So now, remember, same drive, had the comeback route. Now let's go vertical. Okay, there's no safety in the deep middle of the field. DB is basically giving you this post, all right? So you act like you might be running the same exact route, attack that blind spot, but you're actually gone, okay? So really, really, really good stuff. Obviously, it's cutoff year, but you get a good throw right here from Dillon Gabriel to Nic Anderson, who obviously was left alone. Obviously, there was a coverage bust mixed in there as well, and boom, walk-in tutty. And obviously, you know, when you get this angle, the corner played this deep over, and that obviously kept Anderson wide open. So that was a little bit of a coverage bust, but it's still good to see overall that he feels comfortable making these deep catches. And obviously this was the biggest play of his career. Red River game, obviously back corner of the end zone. Gabriel works to the backside. They leave him wide open in the back corner. And look, I know he's wide open, but at least you have a receiver coming in with this big game experience. All right, so here we go. Play action, work to the backside, just burn this corner, and look at this get off at the top of the screen. Little shake to get this DB on his heels, and now he's just gone. All right, good job by Gabriel starting off looking right to get the safety off over the top. Man, really good stuff. Once again, it is amazing how much this Oklahoma offense just fell apart from 1 year to the next. But easy pitch and catch touchdown. You love to freaking see it. All right, so one minor, and it is minor, red flag with Anderson is a lot of these catches are just so unfreaking believably wide open. So it would have been nice to see what he would have done in a more hostile offensive environment this year. But, man, I want you to see his after-the-catch ability. Even though he is so unfreaking believably wide open, you would like to see every Power 4 receiver make this guy miss. But, I mean, he really has some wiggle to his game at 6'4", and you can see DB can't make the play. Really, really, really good stuff. He's able to maintain his balance and pick up more yards after the fact. You like to see it. Now, could there have been more yards out of this? Maybe so, but still good stuff. All right, now this is actually a play that LSU runs a lot of, or just this philosophy, which are flood concepts, right? Verticals and then overs replacing the verticals. So the vertical takes this DB with them. You have a shallow over here, and then you have an over in the intermediate. And actually, instead of it being a shallow, it's a vertical and out and up, and then you have the over route right behind it. It's a good man coverage beater. It's also a good zone coverage beater. And look at that. Bang. Okay, we do run a lot of these types of things. We did it in particular with Kyron running the over, so you do like to see that. All right, 3rd and 11. Here he is going up against a DB who has inside leverage. Okay, you could see that Anderson is on the hash, and the DB's left foot is to the inside of this hash mark. Okay, so it's going to be very difficult for Anderson to get to the inside right here, and that's exactly what he does. Good little shimmy. The best at this in the NFL right now might actually be Brian Thomas Jr. He actually did this a lot last week versus the Jets. Actually, I just got done cutting a film study. A little bit better of a throw he's scoring, but still good stuff. So if you want to see that BTJ film study, it's floating in the top right corner of your screen. Now, we get to this. And, is Nic Anderson a true single-digit playmaker? Oh, yeah. You guys know how I am about these single digits. So I would love to see him get that number 4 uniform, switch him out with C.J. Daniels. Good job making the safety miss. Now, obviously, this ball hits you in stride. I would have liked to have seen this sixth. Okay, so once again, is he fast? Oh yeah, he's got juice, right? It's not that elite tier speed, but you don't need to have that. So if he were to come in and play a CJ Daniels like role, one thing Daniels did a good job of is getting other people open. Obviously Malik is the all-time best at this. You can see he's running a vertical, so there was a motion to stack these receivers. Anderson's job right here is to sell a corner post, and you really have to sell this to draw both of these DBs with you so we can hit this deep out. So watch what happens here. Even after having that big drop, he's able to run a post. It gets cut off here, but you'll see exactly what happened, all right? Because this post drew so much coverage, you can see the corner is running with Anderson. He was supposed to be right over here. Anderson's getting picked up by the safety. So getting other people open, running when the ball really isn't intended to go for you is also something that you look for from a receiver. So he plays hard. And look, Anderson had some low moments as well. Obviously, Bedlam, rivalry game. Man, these go balls are things that LSU just missed last year. Nic Anderson, as you guys have seen, deep ball tracking has been pretty good, but a lot of those are wide open here. He burns the DB really badly, and Dillon Gabriel has him in stride, and, well, he should have caught this. He also, this is, a problem that Chris Hilton's had, he also really didn't even need to leave his feet. Right? You can see he's already starting to dive for it. You can see about right here what I think happened. He was in the middle of, hey, am I going to dive for this or am I just going to run underneath it and score a touchdown? Even if you just run underneath it and your momentum takes you to the ground, that's fine as well. And obviously, when it comes to separation, it's solid, right? That's not truly his game. Overall, I do feel he is a somewhat decent separator. On this route, it's a go route into the boundary, so it's tough to really create any room. This would have been an absolutely positively ridiculous catch, but he gets clamped down here. Is this catchable? Maybe so. Okay. but still. All right, and then on this very next rep, once again, 3 is a good player. Inside leverage, we're running, a deep over. So let's pick it up here. Obviously, this deep over, we want to, on this over with the corner right on us, you want to sell vertical, do something called a stair step technique. So you want to lean kind of against this DB to make this DB think that you might be going vertical, and then jerk out this way. So this could have been better to create some separation, but 3 is all over him. Is there a little tug right here? Maybe so. They're never calling this in Bedlam at home. And, you would like to see a little bit more separation on the deep over right there. But still, semi-catchable ball. And there is some of this on his tape. Now, Nic Anderson's blocking grades are a little bit of a mixed bag. It's obviously not why you're bringing him in, but it is a key part of any offense, right? A lot of the best LSU receivers are also good blockers, and this honestly is pretty physical. You would like to have seen this block right here to be a little bit more upfield, but sometimes with these blocks into space, you could get a little too sealy. In other words, just get too parallel to the hash, and the guy can come around and make this play. So this honestly is not a bad rep at all. Blocking, it could have been better. Yeah, it could have definitely been cleaner the more I look at it, but it's still really good stuff on the outside. And here's another good blocking rep on this run play in the goal line. Now, 8, I've watched a decent amount of him. He's not the most willing run defender, but man, that's really, really, really good stuff right there. Love the physicality. So, what do we make of Nic Anderson? Well, he does fill one massive void for LSU, and it's just something anecdotal, is that this team is very short, okay? They're short at running back, and I'm talking about like physical height. They're short at quarterback, and they're also short at wide receiver. So it would be nice to add a red zone big target who has shown the propensity to block. And that's where Anderson's really cooked, is in these red zone, extended red zone areas, right? As you could see in the background here. You could just tell watching this breakdown, he's good. I mean, he is a very, very good wide receiver. I don't know if he's ever going to be like this unfreaking believably special player, but one thing that's somewhat interesting, yet somewhat concerning, is that this is a little bit of a mystery bag, because while he is going into his year 4 of his collegiate career as a year 1 player, redshirted, obviously in 2023, you see a lot of catches like this. I mean, this is, God bless. We'd save the best for last. I remember watching this when I did a Jackson Arnold film study on Power Hour SEC. Y'all, that's a difficult-ass catch right there. Holy crap. Running as hard as you can on a scramble drill. Man, that is tough. Tough right there. Good job by the line judge making that really good decision and calling this a touchdown. But that's part of the exciting thing about Nic Anderson is, yes, you have the major red flag. Can he stay healthy? But there's also this mystery bag, right? Because his first year in 2023, he wasn't a high-volume stat player. Now, he played throughout the course of the season, but after the Texas game, he became more of a full-time weapon for this Oklahoma offense. And as the season moved on, he just kept getting better and better. Obviously, he had 2 100-yard games, and this was a really good, fun Oklahoma offense that actually had an offensive line, and Jackson Arnold actually looked decent in this one bowl game. So, man, I'm excited. Now, I say this because, I've heard good vibes regarding him actually signing, but I'm recording this previous to the announcement, so hopefully all this work didn't go for nothing. But he's good. He's a really, really, really good player, and LSU needed another wide receiver. So let me know if you guys think, is this the best portal pass catcher that LSU has brought in? Let me know. Okay. I really do like Berrien Brown, right? Berrien Brown, of course, is going to give you that explosive nuclear weapon. Anderson's probably, the bigger, more physical after the catch kind of guy. So they do work better together. And the one thing I like about both of them, they could be on the outside and Aaron Anderson could just cook in the slot. So I love the way he would fit in with what LSU has. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom! And tonight we're doing pot roast. Let's go.